Hello and welcome back to LEGO Access. Today we're going to be comparing the Malfoy family to their LEGO counterparts and seeing how realistic they look. Now obviously the Malfoy family only contains 3 people. We are going to include Dobby and Bellatrix Lestrange for this really fun and interesting comparison in today's video. First up we have obviously Draco Malfoy. Now we're going to compare his first character, one of the earlier ones. Now, not including the yellow look-alike on his face, we're not going to include that. We're just going to compare the hair and his robes and how realistic it actually looks. Now, compared to what they showed in the film, it's meant to be black robes, and that's sort of similar in this Lego thing, but sort of not. As you can see, the tie's the same, it's the sort of same style, and the robes are quite good for this, and I think it's actually really realistic. The hair, for one, also does look really realistic and really well done compared to the older Lego Draco characters. I feel like this hair is exactly what you need to use from book 3 to book 7. This is what Draco would have had as his hair, not the slicked back style that I had in year 1 and year 2. This is the style that I think portrays Draco Malfoy as the best possible one ever, and I also think that this is a great realistic description of the character Draco Malfoy. Comparing the Draco Malfoy from the early edition to the later edition, you can obviously see one major difference, is that LEGO decided to go back with the older style of the LEGO figures, where this is actually an old Draco Malfoy with obviously this before they had short legs, but this is obviously one where he has got slicked back hair, and that's actually not what he would have had at this time, because this was for the 6th book, this particular character. So I actually feel like the original hair that they used for the Lego Draco Malfoy figures are actually a more realistic way of portraying Draco Malfoy, and it actually looks a lot more realistic than it does in this particular character that they portrayed in around probably my favourite Hogwarts design and my favourite characters, but I just feel like maybe the hair could be a bit different. But definitely the colour of the hair is completely right the whole way through all of these different Draco Malfoys that we have seen so far in LEGO Harry Potter the theme. Next up we have Lucius Malfoy. Now Lucius Malfoy, original character, is probably one of the most LEGO characters that does not actually resemble the real thing. His hair is really the only thing, the colour of the hair is the only thing that is similar. His facial expressions are a bit mean, the clothes he wears are just not accurate, and his hair is just too short, it's not meant to be long. This really isn't a good depiction of Lucius Malfoy in his character form. Now, one could argue that the actual actor who portrayed Lucius Malfoy, whilst doing a good job of being sneering and cunning and cold, did not actually really resemble him, and the wig that he wore, because it was a wig, actually resembled more of Lucius Malfoy, and perhaps LEGO have not done a good job in portraying Lucius Malfoy in the earliest Lucius Malfoy character that is available. So I'm not really that happy with the way LEGO have portrayed Lucius Malfoy in the early edition. In the later editions, however, LEGO have definitely redeemed themselves in this particular phase. This LEGO Lucius Malfoy character from 2010 and onwards is probably the most realistic character in the LEGO universe. Obviously, we've seen quite a few of these LEGO characters throughout the years, and this one definitely is the most realistic. Using the same similar hairstyle he did have in the Graveyard set in 2005, Lucius Malfoy looks so realistic compared to the character, and these two side by side, you can obviously see how realistic they are. And these are both from the same time period as well, so it is really, really, really realistic to see these two characters side by side. One of the bravest characters throughout all of the Harry Potter films is Narcissa Malfoy. Obviously, towards the end, she would do anything to protect her family. And this is shown in the later book, especially the last book, when she saves Harry Potter's life to save Draco's life, because Harry saved his life. It is really interesting to see the difference between the Lego character and her character, because this also looks really, really similar. And around this time, Lego were doing some really, really cool stuff with their Lego minifigures. And I must say that from the clothes to the hair to the expressions, this character looks so much like the original Narcissa Malfoy as how I envisioned her before from reading the books, how you saw her from the films. I feel like LEGO have done a really, really good job with bringing this character to life. So well done to Lego for this, because this is a truly amazing recreation into Lego form for Narcissa Malfoy. So once upon a time, part of the Malfoy household was Dobby, their household obviously, and I've decided to include him in this video purely because he was part of the Malfoy family from Chamber of Secrets and backwards. So how realistic does his look? I've chosen his new character, the one that comes with the diary and the sock, and this one is a really good version of him. He's much better than the two other Dobbys we've seen, one without faces and without paint of face, such like the goblins, such as the house elves back then, and the other Dobby that's got a bit of weird eyes, like the one that I'm used to and I'm used to using as Dobby. I've used for the whole of my Lego life. It's one of the first ever Lego Harry Potter sets I remember getting. But the new one definitely resembles Dobby a lot more, from the green eyes to the clothes to the actual skin. It's just a much more better version of Dobby. It's like cleaned up, it's much nicer. And it just shows that through these minifigure bags that they've done, they always put a lot more effort into the minifigures than they do from the minifigures that come in the actual sets, which is really cool to see how similar these two amazing characters look. Moving on from Dobby, we go towards his killer, one of the most hated characters in Harry Potter, but also one of the most loved because of her evilness and her smile and her evilness and her loyalty and love for Voldemort. We've obviously got Bellatrix Lestrange. Now, whilst not having the surname Malfoy, she is very much part of the Malfoy family, obviously being the sister of Narcissa Malfoy, and she also does look really realistic to her counterpart. The hair, maybe not the hair colour, perhaps, but definitely the hair, the clothes, the style that she wears is all really accurate to get the sort of bewitching beauty from Bellatrix Lestrange, but also the sense of evilness that is portrayed both through the film and through the, obviously, the Lego figure. Now, obviously, you can obviously see that Azkaban has taken some of her natural beauty away from her, and that is very apparent to see in both the Lego figure and the actor as well. So it is really interesting to see just the similarities between these two characters, because this one's definitely one of the more impressive Lego figures and definitely very similar to the actual figure. Thank you guys for going through all the Malfoy families and friends along the way. This has obviously been a really cool episode of minifigure similarities to look at, and I've got to say that these ones are some of the most similar characters that we've ever seen, apart from obviously that version of Lucius Malfoy that we saw at the beginning. But guys, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like the video. We're on 60 subscribers. We're going to try and get 65 subscribers before the end of September, and this has been a really good growth in this channel. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.